is Evangelist Taylor Biffle again with Hardworking Mom Service. Today we are taping here live at LBR, Life Beyond Reentry. Now today our guest will be Miss Deborah Black and her husband, Mr. Black. And we got a tour of the building. Life Beyond Reentry is where the people can be brought back in after being locked up in prison. And this is going on here in Pontiac. And we want you to see how Pontiac people have come full circle of helping the inmates around the world and where we can try to get them to help them come back. So at this time, I would like to introduce to you Miss Deborah Black and Mr. Peter Black. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, it's so glad to have you a
Thank
part
you.
of Hardworking Mom Service.
Thank you
because
very
I take
much.
care of the inmates locked up all around the world. And this is something that God embedded in me, and I'm glad to find out that I have one here in Pontiac.
Amen.
And I want to thank you for coming forth and creating this.
It's a pleasure.
Amen.
Yes.
Now, we would like to give a tour of the building right now, of what they do here in the classrooms and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. And then we're going to have some guests upon the show and do an interview. Okay? Thank you. Hold on. Mr. and Mrs. Black is about to give us a tour. And so we're about to take the tour. And the room is called the workshop.
This is our room one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's
All right,
begin.
let's go ahead. Okay, this is our first room after our participants have went through the intake process and enrolled. They will come in this room. They will meet with a mentor that will guide them through the program. So it's also called the man cave, which is specifically for men. But then it's also / called the powder room for the ladies. So we meet face to face in here. All documented information is recorded on this computer, which is passcode, so everyone does not have access to it, so that the information is kept confidential. Now, I think Mr. Black may have a process of how they do that mentoring, so I would let him take it from here.
Yeah, so after they come in and go through their intake process, before we actually enter this room, this is the man cave, but we'll come as a group with all those participants and the mentors. So the mentors will actually explain a lot of things about themselves, and each mentor will get at least 5 minutes to tell the story of their life, and as the participants are listening. So after all of that is over with, then we have the participants to choose who they want to be their mentor.
Okay.
Because that will hold them accountable for being participating in the things that the mentor is going to plan. So then after that, they come in here one-on-one and talk to them about everything that's going on in their lives, so they can put together a strategy to help them. And then that's when we start all of our workshops. So.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So now we're about to get another tour of the other
Absolutely.
classroom. All
We have a
right.
couple more rooms we want to show. This room is what we call our group session room, our family workshop room. So this is what Real Talk is all about at LBR. So there's no desk in here. Everybody kind of sits in a circle and it's freestyle talk. So the black chair usually indicate where the facilitator or the counselor will be seated. The participants sit around in a circle. They have certain topics that they talk about based on their intake process or whatever is on their mind at that time. And far as families reconnecting back with their families, this is the same place where we hold those workshops as well, where they meet with their families and we try to mend that gap once they return home. Because sometimes you need that third party in there, and that's where LBR comes in and mending families together. So we can move on to the next room here. This is one of,
It's a beautiful room.
thank you.
And it's a beautiful classroom for people to come in and learn stuff. You are doing marvelous work here. I love this. They have a computer that they can come and sit down and find jobs, do things, and help go on
Yes,
with their
ma'am.
life, to restart their lives all over. And it seems like they are very much serious because you're really doing God's work.
Amen.
Amen.
Truly, that's our assignment, is to do God's work. However, what else, moving on far as what we do in this room, this is a career development room. So what they do in here is go over certain things, interview process, interview mocking, applications. They also would sit at these tables here to practice doing a resume and filling out an application prior to working on it or developing or creating it on the computer. And so we try to place inspirational quotes, such as here you may say, dream big. Over here, don't look back, you're not going that way. And some quotings over here that really kind of keeps them focused, like, stay inspired, you can do this. We have a board over there with a lot of other things. The process of change. You're released from home. The facilitator sits there and facilitates the curriculum. So this also can be used as a group session or a classroom as well. And I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
And
Mr.
also
White.
in here, this is where some of the workshops take place. You know, when we have like big classes, we have two facilitators facilitating at the same time. So this classroom right here will also be a workshop where they may be going through things that once they return home, that they'll be shocked by the paperwork and the information that we have to present to them as far as cultural shock. So we started talking about cultural shock in one of our classes, and some of the guys' eyes, they just lit up. And these are some of the things that they're going through because of the change. When they're in prison, now they're out of prison, now they see a change that's going on. So now, after we presented to them, they like, that just happened to me the other day, and I didn't even know how to handle it. So these are some of the things that we show them how to handle it. We tell them how to handle it. We present the things for them to handle it, and they're really appreciative. I tell you, these guys are really remarkable that come through these doors right here. So, and then we have our last room over here that we're going to introduce.
Now, we're in the skilled trade room right now. And let's go with Mr. Peter Black. You want to explain this room?
Okay, well, this room is actually a multi-purpose room, so we kind of move these tables and chairs back and forth out of here because we have our workshop tables for the guys that when we start the skilled trade program. So actually we'll start this room off as another workshop room where they be getting different information from our facilitators. And then once we go into the skills trade part of it, everything comes out and we bring our work tables in where the guys can do their measuring, do their taping, learn taping, measuring, and different woods, different materials, different tools that's used in the carpentry field so that they can get a feel of what's going to take place in that area.
So, Miss Black, how
Yes.
do you feel about this room?
Wow, this room has some memories in it, that's for sure. Based on our third class, it's coming up in the fall. However, like Mr. Black indicated, this is a multi-class room. In 2019, we will be launching off our carpentry program for the participants that's enrolled here. This is also our guest speaker room. Last program, we had some nurses from Baker College. We had Friend of the Fathers here. So that way, we, like you said, this is a multi-classroom. Yeah, again, we have the inspirational quotes up here to always keep them kind of thinking positive. And eventually we'll have more, so wherever they look, they'll be able to see something inspiring that can encourage them to keep moving forward after they leave here.
Okay,
And
so I got a question for you.
Yes.
You said it's starting to fall. So can hardworking moms come in when you got the classroom come in and take while you having a session going this fall?
We can sit down, definitely. I don't see why not, but let's schedule an appointment and see how we can do that.
Yes.
I think
I
that
would
would be
love to have
something
the
good to
people
network together.
To let them see what's going on instead of just seeing an empty classroom. I would
Yes.
like them to see how the people work in the classroom.
Absolutely,
And the people need to know that.
absolutely, they do. We do have some clippings on our Facebook page
Okay.
of
Give us
Classroom
Facebook
Interacting.
page.
That is Life Beyond Reentry,
Mhm.
LBR. And then our website is lifebeyondreentry.com.
All right.
And I also want you to know that our participants that come here, they work. They do have a responsibility. They have homework assignments that must be turned in. We take attendance and we keep all documentation. We do evaluations as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
That's awesome.
So,
So we're about to go and sit down, and we're gonna talk about this how it started.
amen.
We're gonna go over there and see what it looked like and everything, and go and have a conversation, and we're gonna line up and see how this started. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Let's go. Hardworking Moms is now interviewing LBR, and some of these are young men that have graduated from the program, and Mr. and Mrs. Black have started the program, and we have Mr. Chris Jackson here that's a part of this do a little thing, and our own Councilman Randy Carter. And these young men, would you like to introduce yourselves? You want to start first?
Leander Perkins.
Mr. Perkins.
I say, hey, hold on, say that again, bro.
Leander Perkins.
Okay.
Thomas Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy.
Attorney Richard Taylor.
And attorney Mr. Taylor.
Rodney Alexander.
And Rodney Alexander.
Oh, say that again.
Rodney Alexander.
And my own
City Councilman Randy Carter.
Randy Carter. For what district?
Back 4.
District 4. And you all know our beautiful Deborah Black, as well as Mr. Peter Black. Now, Mrs. Black, can you tell me how did you start this program?
Yes. Back in 2016, we had some personal experience with loved ones
Okay.
who, once they returned home, found it difficult and struggled with finding employment. They also felt as though they was not accepted back into society. So at that time, I thought, let's do something about that. And I began to create and develop, along with family and friends, a program that can assist them in their transition into returning from home back into society, as well as reconnecting with their family members.
That's a beautiful thing. Because see,
Yes.
they need a reentry program.
Yes.
Detroit has one, and I'm so glad Oakland County has one. And before God decided to let go, I'm going to see about trying to connect you back and forth. Because hardworking moms take care of inmates locked up around the world. And I want to put you as to the state level of putting you on the list, so when they get released, when I write to have them released home, they have some place to come.
Truly.
So mind you, that's God's goal. See, Veronica, Evangelist Taylor don't have nothing to do with God's goal.
Amen.
I just work I'm just the tool that he used. Amen.
Amen.
So, Mr. Peter Black, are you excited to be married to this beautiful woman that God have gave you this vision?
Yes, I am, for 18 years, and
Yeah.
and really because of the vision that God has given her for men, because that's where my vision was at first.
Amen.
with
Y'all
man.
equally yoked then.
And God gave me the vision because I was doing a lot of things with man within the church and everything, in man's ministry, and she just birthed the vision.
Amen.
She birthed the vision, and she birthed it down in our basement, and she be down there timeless hours of the night. I mean, just doing something like, Deborah, what are you doing? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You need to come
That
on and
sound
go
like
to
my
bed.
life.
And really, and I know it's God's plan, because when you have someone that's coming from the medical field and coming into business of her own, and she was able to submit all the paperwork for the 501c3
Yeah.
to the state, and actually it went through the very first time it was submitted.
Yeah.
That's when you know that God has the,
Yes.
the plan for this thing. And
Yes.
and I say, okay, I can see God's hand in this, so I'm gonna move out your way. I gotta pick up a couple more hours at work, but I tell you, it's been an exciting ride, and
Well, I'm glad she started it, because hardworking moms thought she was gonna have to start a reentry program, and thanks to our friend, Mr. Troy, he brought
Yes.
us together. Troy Kraft.
Yeah.
He brought us together, and I'm glad he did. Now, Mr. Taylor, I hear you the attorney here. Can you tell me how it feels to be a part of God's vision?
It's interesting because, from the aspect of, I see it from the beginning.
Yes.
Whereas, young men and women that make bad decisions in their lives and take a different life course that takes them into incarceration. And me trying to assist them and make that process to make sure that they have due process as it relates to those bad decisions or lifestyle changes they decide to make. And then understanding what criminal records will do for someone, in the future, and how it impacts their ability to work, how it impacts their ability to reconnect with their families and live as constructive people in our community. So when you have reentry programs such as these that puts them in a position to gain skills, to have the ability to deal with conflict resolution, and actually just to be able to live as men and women, because that's really the goal, because we know that inside the institution itself does not provide rehabilitation. So we know that these type of programs do the rehabilitation portion of it, that again allows them to be constructive and positive members in our community, and that's really the goal. That's truly the goal.
So now I'm going to talk to 3 of these fellas here. So how do y'all like the program? See, because you all just graduated, and I came to y'all graduation, and I heard your speech. So I need to know, how do you love being back into society?
Oh, it's beautiful. The program, for me personally, it gave me a place to go to when I needed an outlet. It taught me communication skills. It's just, I wanted change, and they made me be accountable for my change.
That's awesome. And I love to hear it say accountability of change. Because see, by me writing to the parole board and writing and ministering to them, I got to see it and hear it from you all firsthand. Now, Mr. Chris Jackson, I know him very well. He's more like my son. So, Mr. Jackson,
Yes, ma'am.
how did you get a part of this reentry program?
It was shared vision more than anything else. I was partnering with different programs, trying to find a way.
You're partnering with a whole lot of them here.
I do. So partnering with different programs, just understanding that, I've had family members, we've all had friends or family that have gone through the system. A system that should be for rehabilitation and not for profit. And so I feel strongly about what can we do to make sure that we have a holistic approach to making sure that people can be productive citizens to society. And so then Mr. and Mrs. Black, we met, we had some lengthy discussions about shared values. And at the end of the day, it's not that there's a lack of resources necessarily. It's just we need to do a better job at marketing what those resources are. And this is one that I feel strongly about LBR, and so I'm glad to be a part of the movement.
Well, see, hardworking moms, I take care of inmates locked up around the world.
Right.
I have 35 that's on death row in California. I have, and Governor Black is a little mad at me because he got one on there that he just determined. But Mr. Governor Brown, me and you got some conversation still going on. Hold on, bro. Young man.
Yes.
I'm sorry, our names right now don't affect Mr. Perkins. I heard your speech, and I want the people to hear what you talked about.
In actuality, I just really sit back and I think about it. Like I was speaking about the first time, I was talking about the future of LBR, like the things that it's going to do with people that's coming home from prison now. But it already can help me a lot. I'm not going to speak about myself, but I want to speak about the future because we need programs like this here in Pontiac and a lot of the cities like Pontiac, a lot of the metro areas, need programs for people who come home that don't have nowhere to go, so that they have access to the resources like the brother was talking about. Like he said, it's not a shortage of resources. It's just people don't know where to go to get the help. It's plenty of help, and it's plenty of people. You got beautiful people like the Blacks that's sitting right here waiting for you to come, arms wide open, waiting for you to pull up so they can assist you.
So, is you about to start a program, right?
Sure indeed.
Well, tell them about your program you're about to start.
I got these beautiful brothers right here. We've been speaking on, trying to create a program for the youth, because me, probably speak for myself personally, what I think is lacking here in the city, because I was born and raised here in Pontiac. You know, when I was growing up, we had community centers to go to after school. You know, where you can go. Like I lived in an area which, you know, not far from here by the Lakeside Home Projects. We had community centers like the Hayes Jones Community Center. You know, I took a lifeguard class at the Hayes Jones Community Center. You know, when I was a child, I learned how to play pool there. You know what I mean? I took a tap dancing class. You know, we need places like that for kids. So when I got home from school, my mother was at work. I went up there and they helped me with my homework. You know, and it's a real shortage of that here in the city of Pontiac, and that's something that we really need, because if the youth don't have nowhere to go after school, the only thing they're gonna do is run out to the streets.
Yeah.
That's why the recidivism rate is so high. As far as even with juveniles, you know, I'm talking about it's very high because of lack of places for the children to go to after school. Like after school programs is something that's very big, and I think a lot of people need to get into it and invest into it more.
Well,
Because
the mayor,
it starts with the youth.
well, the mayor have got a center going now on Lake Shore there, Golf Drive, that she just helped, and I did a walkthrough, and maybe hardworking moms can get a tour when they start. Amen.
Amen.
Now,
Amen.
Mr. Randy Carter,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
own love of my heart here. Okay, I want to know, how did you get in this program?
Actually, me and Miss Black, we met. She contacted me because I was on a mission, being Pontiac Central Class of 72, representing.
Geez.
I was able to sign up for selective service, and I went on a mission because my classmates who did not sign up for selective service, who went to GM and Ford, are unable to receive Pell Grants, federal grants, work state or federal jobs. Our counselors at school are the ones who told us that we didn't have to sign up for selective service. So afterwards, for the last 15 years, I've been visiting congressmen, since Congress has the authority to offer an amnesty program. And yet, not a single congressperson, and I could call the names directly now, and I just
We
met
want
last
you to
month.
be good today.
Well, I am, and they refuse to offer any amnesty program. So, as a man of color, our children
Amen.
also suffer the stigma that if my child applied for college, they would be denied because of a sin of a father.
So that's a beautiful thing. So I leave the best for last.
Oh, I won't say the best, but.
Okay, talk to me.
Hi, my name is Rodney.
Hi, Mr. Rodney. Tell the people, how did you get here, and how do you like the classes here at LBR?
Well, I love the class. You know, I said it before, and I would be remiss if I don't reiterate this, that LBR, Lifebound Reentry, is equated to Noah's Ark. And I'm glad that I got on, because the water was filling up to my head, and the door was about to close, so I got on. And now I'm a graduate from that, and it feels good to get back. You know, we started a program extension from Lifebound Reentry called MADE, and the acronym for that is making a difference every day.
Amen.
So, you know, you got to make a difference every day. If not, how would you want to be remembered? You know, we have a vision. Our vision is to raise today's leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, with a curriculum that will help cultivate, motivate, and with a proper training that will help them have an outer display of productivity.
Yes.
And so this is what we want for the youth. And if you got a vision, it just can't be limited to a certain group of people. It got to be all age difference, anybody that's on the path of destruction and chaos.
Yes.
So we want it for all.
Okay,
Yes.
now we're going to finish up with Ms. Black. Now, can you tell them how they can send donations here to help, or anybody that wants to send donations to help this?
Absolutely. They can send it through the mail.
Well, they need the address, baby.
Well, I'm going to give it to them. 28 North Saginaw Street, Suite 303, Pontiac, Michigan, 48342. You may also visit our website and hit the donation button. You may also go to Life Beyond Reentry -LBR on Facebook and hit the donation button as well.
Now, Hardworking Moms will be taping here on the 27th at New Birth International. I had a flyer. Yes. And before I leave, New Birth International is church by Pastor Teresa Lee, and we will be taping again to show what they do here in Pontiac. And at this time, I would like to thank all you young people for coming, and I would love to thank you for starting this program.
Yes.
Because hardworking moms take care of inmates, and I write for them to come home, and I need a place to send them.
God is good.
And so I want to join you a part of hardworking moms. So when I write to the parole board and get them released, I have some place to put on their paperwork and tell them they can come to. So at this time, I would love to thank you all.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chris Jackson, it's always a pleasure.
Say just 1 second. I would like for Mr. Eden, because he facilitates our class.
Okay.
So
come
he
on,
can
Mr.
give a good point of view
Okay.
on the interaction that he receives from them.
And I'm sorry to overlook
That's
you.
okay. He was sitting on the side a little bit.
Actually, hi. Okay, my name is Patty, and I am a facilitator here at Life Beyond Reentry. It's a passion of mine. It's just trying to instill hope into a group of folks that need hope. I myself, personally, am a recovering person. 25 years. I have worked in substance abuse, mental illness, homeless population for more than 20 years. And this group of people need to understand that there's hope. You know, they need to learn to believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And that's where I come in.
Amen.
You know, a lot of times I share my path, my story, just so people can understand that it's possible. See, I remember being hopeless. I remember thinking that I didn't have anywhere to go. Life wasn't going to be any better. But all you have to do, you know, well, truly my path was I found out who I was and whose I was. And when I discovered whose I was, my life changed.
That's right.
Amen.
You know, and if I can do that for another person in any format, then that's truly what I want to do.
Amen. So I thank you all, Mr. Carter,
Alexander.
Mr. Alexander,
Mr. Eaton.
and Mr. Eaton. Especially I thank the blacks for starting this program here called LBR, Life Beyond Recovery. And that's something God really had to give you. Like he gave me hardworking moms. He birthed that name. So I thank you. Amen. Amen. Hi. So, Miss Angela Powell,
Yes, ma'am.
that's running for Oakland County Commissioner.
Yes, ma'am.
Me and Miss Black kept a deep dark secret with you that hardworking moms was taping reentry program, and you didn't know you was coming on the show.
No, I didn't.
And
But
you
I'm-
didn't know I had a show, did you?
Yes, I do remember you telling me that, though. So I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and I'm glad to have you. Now, at this time, can you tell me how you started a part of being with the reentry program, LBR?
So I actually had a small conversation with Miss Black a year ago, and she had told me about her program and how things were starting for her. And then I was excited to happen to talk to her this year. She gave me a great update of all the things that LBR has been doing in our community, and I'm happy about that because one thing she stressed to me is she's not trying to meet no quotas. She's trying to change some people's lives. And I've seen it firsthand of them giving ex-felons the proper training so they can get reacclimated to society. And without that, you know, that's a need here in our city. And I'm so happy that now we really have a real prison reentry program who is not focused on quotas and who is trying to change lives every day. And she just recently, I was at her event. She had a successful event. They just graduated some ex-felons in their training program. And I'm here to help her from here on out, regardless of the prediction of this race, because she needs the support, and Pontiac, y'all need to come out and support her.
Yes.
With all resources, Yes. especially financially.
Well,
So let's get behind her and do that.
I just put that on and asked them to send donations here on Hardworking Moms. I asked them to send donations
Yes.
already, and I already put a website on there. So Hardworking Moms, you know, we love you.
Yes.
But,
Thank you so much, and I love you all too.
so, you know, I got that covered too. God got
Okay.
that covered too. So
All right.
we going to work on all that.
Okay.
But I thank you so much for being a part of Hardworking Mom Service, because now I don't have to worry about when I write to the parole board to get them released.
Mm-hmm.
I have some place to send them when I write the letter to the parole board or coming to LBR
Yes, you do.
and put them in a good program. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I thank you for being a part of my show. And I thank you
Yes.
all for being
You're
here.
welcome.
And I thank God for birthing Mr. and Mrs. Black Mr. and Mrs. Black with this program, because I really thought I would have to start a reentry program.
Yeah,
here.
you came to me with that.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm glad we can work this through. Thank
Absolutely.
you, and may God bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the fall and
Yes,
being
ma'am.
in the classroom and
Yes.
showing your classroom work.
Yes,
Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank
will be.
you.
First I call.
And may God bless you. Don't forget, Hardworking Moms is taping on the 27th of July at New Birth International, because they doing church in the park.
All right.
All right.
Amen.
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 What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
My name is Mike Duggan, and I'm watching the Bell Global Network.
Hey, keep it locked. It's your boy D. Hattie watching the Bell Global Network. You know how it is.
Hi, I'm Charlie Langton, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, this is Martha Reeves, and you're watching Bell Global Network.